You mentioned that you have a 20-month-old girl who just doesn't want to give up nursing. And it's okay to continue nursing a 20-month-old, but you mentioned that you want to stop, and this is just exhausting to you because she mostly wants to nurse at night. And she also sleeps in your room. So what do you do? Now, I had a couple of thoughts when I read your question, and the first is that it will be easier if she's not in your room. And so if you have another room available, then I suggest moving her there first. It may be easier to make that transition before you quit nursing and get her used to that. And there's no better way than to just simply do it. And I say simply just because the answer is simple, but that doesn't mean that doing it is easy. Get her a room with a bed, and you can think about whether or not she still needs a crib or if she needs a toddler bed. And if she's at the age where she might think it's fun to pick out some of the colors, make her room exciting, and then you're just going to have to put her there when it's time for bed. Of course, keep your usual bedtime routine and put her to bed around the same time each night, but then put her in her room. And it may be kind of hard to keep her there at first because she's going to want to come in and get in bed with you. But you have to be persistent and patient about it and be committed to keeping her in her room, because if she comes into your room and you let her get in bed with you, then she's just going to do it again and again and again, and letting her in bed with you will reinforce that behavior and you'll just never break the cycle. So every time she walks into your room, you just need to turn her around, walk her right back into her room, and tuck her in. And you may even want to come up with some kind of positive reinforcement program where if she sleeps in her own room for a certain number of nights, she gets a prize or something, whatever that might be for her. Once you've gotten her sleeping in her own room, then you can address the weaning issue. And you mentioned that she likes to nurse at night, and that's very common for toddlers because it's comforting for them. It's bonding time between them and their parents. So if nursing her to sleep has become part of her bedtime routine, then find something else that you can do with her that replaces that. But also keep in mind that you don't want to just quit nursing cold turkey for your sake, because it can cause engorgement, clogged ducts, and mastitis. So start nursing her for shorter amounts of time, and then gradually start cutting out those nursing sessions before she goes to sleep. And if she's waking up at night and wanting to eat, then unless your pediatrician has told you otherwise, at 20 months she shouldn't need extra nighttime feedings. And basically she's just waking up and looking for a nursing and a cuddle session from you. And so again, if you respond to that and go in and nurse her and hold her, then it will reinforce her nighttime wakings and the cycle will continue. So you've got to break the cycle by teaching her how to self-soothe. And this will involve some crying. And so again, it will require persistence and patience on your part. But you need to give it some time before you go in and respond to her if she's crying at night, or if she has the ability to come in and get you, then again, just walk her back and tuck her in and be persistent about it. I can't say that enough. Sometimes parents find success in offering a toddler a comforting item, maybe a new stuffed animal or a new blanket or something that's an item that they can turn to instead of you when they're looking for comfort at night. But you did mention you've tried this and it hasn't helped. It never hurts to pull it out of your toolbox every now and then to see if your child will respond differently to it if they haven't responded to it in the past. Another helpful tool is distraction. If your daughter comes up and wants to nurse in the middle of the day, or if she wants to nurse at night before going to bed, just try to distract her. You can try putting something in her hands like some silly putty or Play-Doh or a really fun toy, and see if that will divert her attention away from nursing. And if she's actually thirsty, then make sure you're fulfilling her needs by giving her water or whole milk in a sippy cup. Sometimes it's just her looking for comfort, and if that's the case, then come up with like a fun little hand game that you can do together, or just hold her for a minute and see if that will help to appease her need for comfort. So basically you need to replace the nursing with something else that can fulfill those needs for her. Good luck with everything, and if you have more questions in the future for me, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.